jealousy that is permeating throughout this entire league toward Caitlin Clark is nasty work. Paige Bueckers live on Sue Bird's podcast, and you can see it on her face during the pregame telecast, the disgust and the sickness she has when it comes to Caitlin Clark. It must be studied. Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. What the hell happened to you? Caitlin Clark?
For months.
The mainstream sports press and the WNBA power structure spent months trying to convince the public of one enormous, carefully packaged story. From polished studio sets, commentators stared into the lens and insisted the hostility, reckless fouls, and unmistakable disrespect directed toward Caitlin Clark were nothing more than ordinary competitive intensity. They acted as though everything inside the league was perfectly healthy while attempting to bury the uncomfortable reality unfolding behind the scenes. According to their version, the players were simply competing hard and nothing more sinister was happening. But raw emotion can only remain hidden for so long, and eventually the truth finds a way into the open. Then came the moment that sent the WNBA conversation into complete chaos and lit up social media. The carefully maintained image finally cracked when Paige Bueckers, one of the biggest names in women's basketball and a player many believed the media hoped to position as the next superstar, appeared to acknowledge feelings of jealousy. Yet that admission was only the beginning of the drama. While critics argued, complained, and searched for explanations on podcasts, Clark did not release a carefully worded statement or fire back through social media. Instead, she arrived at All-Star Weekend, activated another level, and played with the aggression of someone determined to take control of the entire event. From the opening night, she seized the attention surrounding the MVP discussion and turned the league's premier showcase into a stage built around her presence. And as surprising as the comments connected to Bueckers may have seemed, they were nothing compared with the uncomfortable contrast Angel Reese faced under the brightest possible spotlight. Keep watching closely, because the league's hidden emotions were suddenly visible to everyone, and after this moment, pretending otherwise became nearly impossible.
You know, when you be watching like Law and Order and they got evidence in different cases they got to lay out on the table, don't go nowhere. We got a bunch of little evidence here, okay? Look at this. I see a lot of Paige Bueckers fans talk about how she can't stand Caitlin Clark. This might help y'all understand why. Jealousy and envy, not easy emotions to deal with. Take a listen at what Paige Bueckers had to say here.
And then it just felt like women's basketball just took the world by storm, and rightfully so. So I'm not, and I felt bad because I felt like jealous in a way, and I felt like envious, and I've never been that type of person.
I felt jealous and I felt envious. Now, when she talks about women's basketball taking over, who is she talking about? Caitlin Clark.
To understand why league executives and longtime insiders appeared so unsettled, you have to examine the battle for attention unfolding away from the scoreboard. Many of these athletes have been dominant since childhood. They were the stars of their schools, the leaders of their teams, and the players accustomed to controlling every room they entered. Then a guard from Iowa arrived and instantly altered the center of gravity for the entire sport. Arenas began filling, charter travel became a major issue, merchandise moved rapidly, and television audiences reached levels the league had chased for years. Yet the public was not crediting the established veterans for that explosion. Most of the attention was centered on number 22. During a widely discussed media appearance, the weight of Clark's popularity, commercial influence, and drawing power seemed to break through the usual public relations language. Bueckers spoke about jealousy and envy while discussing the attention surrounding Clark, then attempted to redirect the conversation toward broader questions about compensation in women's sports. Rather than removing Clark from the discussion, the shift only highlighted how difficult it had become to avoid acknowledging her enormous financial impact. This was bigger than an awkward comment or poorly phrased response. To many viewers, it sounded like confirmation of what supporters had argued since Clark entered the professional league. The hostility was not solely about defensive schemes, physical basketball, or ordinary competition. It was also tied to status, pride, endorsement money, packed buildings, signature shoe agreements, and worldwide recognition suddenly flowing toward one newcomer. For months, league defenders dismissed any suggestion that resentment was influencing the treatment Clark received. But that single exchange appeared to expose the very emotion they had worked so hard to deny.
Why do women deserve more money?
Women should have more money because they have period cramps. They need to give birth.
Because she's got multiple messages to send to people. One of them is not to be believed. You're going to hear this and you're going to be like, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You think because of this you deserve more money and more accolades and more? Nah. But yet all we hear from the players in this league is we want to be treated like a man, so much that it seems like 70% of the league acts like they're men. Lord knows they're trying to let biological men into the league. And we got Paige Bueckers admitting that she's jealous. She's envious of the popularity that Caitlin Clark's got. I mean, yeah, I guess give her credit for two things. Actually admitting it, and the second thing being actually not trying to beat the crap out of Caitlin Clark. I mean, we can't say this. I've never heard Paige Bueckers say anything, technically speaking, that's venomous, I don't think, towards Caitlin Clark. I don't remember anything. All right?
And to be completely fair, Paige Bueckers is an outstanding basketball player. But when Clark finds herself surrounded by skeptical media coverage, visible resentment from competitors, and an environment eager to minimize her influence, how does a truly rare athlete answer? She does it by dominating where nobody can edit the result, on the court. Before the WNBA All-Star event, the league's preferred storyline seemed designed to celebrate the veterans and reinforce the existing order. It was supposed to be their showcase, their opportunity to remind viewers that the established stars still controlled the league. Clark entered that setting and immediately tore through the planned narrative. From the instant she stepped onto the hardwood, her energy looked different. She was not merely participating in an exhibition. Every possession felt like a warning delivered to players and critics across the country. Each heavily contested shot from several feet behind the arc carried the force of a direct response to everyone who had questioned her. Every unexpected pass through a narrow defensive window reminded viewers that her vision operates at a speed most players cannot match. She processed movement before it fully developed, manipulated defenders with her eyes, and created opportunities that seemed impossible until the ball reached a teammate's hands. The more pressure placed on her, the more comfortable she appeared, and the louder the conversation became, the more determined she looked to control it through performance rather than words.
I've been that type of person where I don't want other people to succeed. Like, I want everyone around me to succeed, like, more than I want myself to succeed. Like, I just want great for people. I want, like, I've always thought, like, showing light on others doesn't diminish your own. Like, I feel like iron sharpens iron, and I just feel like really happy for people who are succeeding, because I know how hard it is to be at this level and how much work it takes and how much resilience and dedication and sacrifice.
So she admitted that the women's basketball took over. We already know why. It's not because of nobody in the WNBA that was already there. This is in college. This is in college. When Caitlin Clark took over, she felt jealous. Now, take a look at this. Paige Bueckers was pissed while Caitlin Clark was talking about her signature shoes. Now, take a look at Paige Bueckers' face while Caitlin Clark is talking about her signature shoes.
Caitlin, I'm curious, did you hook up any teammates or anybody with the shoe? Or, I mean,
Courtney Williams is rocking them tonight, which, like, I've had multiple people ask for them. I only have size 9 right now.
Look at her face. Look at her face.
So they're actually playing in my samples.
Look at her face. She don't want nothing to do with it. She don't want nothing to do with this. She don't want to hear about no damn Caitlin Clark shoes. She been jealous of this girl since college.
Both boats have them on. Both the boats have them on. So, yeah, this is a pretty fun pair, and you're looking at, I think it's like Valentine's Day edition. You got the charm on there, but I was going to wear some all white ones. I'm like, that's not fun enough. We got to break out some.
Look at Paige Bueckers' face. She's still jealous.
Some fire,
so cute with the color. The ombre matches the jersey. You mentioned teammates, right? You both have teammates you're participating with. What have you loved?
Now, watch this. You gotta pay attention to the signs, man. The signs be right there in y'all face. The signs are right.
Clark dictated the action with such overwhelming confidence that the crowd seemed to lose awareness of nearly everyone else on the floor. Accomplished all-stars began feeling like supporting characters inside an event increasingly centered on her. By the conclusion of the night, the league could no longer avoid recognizing who generated the greatest excitement surrounding the weekend. For Clark's critics, it represented the outcome they had feared most. The audience, cameras, and conversation all gravitated toward the same player they had spent months attempting to diminish. The MVP storyline appeared attached to her from the moment she emerged from the tunnel. She did more than outperform the opposition. She challenged them mentally by demonstrating that resentment, criticism, and physical treatment could not erase exceptional talent. But this is where the story gained an even sharper twist, and it is the contrast league promoters would rather avoid discussing. While Clark was delivering a showcase, attracting attention, and strengthening her place in the sport's rapidly changing history, another highly promoted figure was experiencing a much more difficult night. As the player framed as Clark's greatest rival struggled to match the moment, Angel Reese drew attention for missed attempts around the basket, creating an uncomfortable side-by-side comparison while millions of viewers were watching.
Human beings in the world, and we carry so much on our shoulders. I feel like we're fearless.
I'm going to keep it real. Casual sports fans, we don't want to hear that crap. I mean, we just don't. We don't want to hear it. We want to watch you play as an athlete. We don't want to hear about your once a month situation. Sorry, we don't want to hear about it. Oh, and they wonder why the league didn't grow forever. This league is never about basketball. The story is never about basketball. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Paige Bueckers on being jealous of Cece.
And then it just felt like women's basketball just took the world by storm, and rightfully so. So I'm not, and I felt bad because I felt like jealous in a way, and I felt like envious, and I've never been that type of person where I don't want other people to succeed. Like, I want everyone around me to succeed, like, more than I want myself to succeed. Like, I just want great for people. I want, like, I've always thought, like, showing light on others doesn't diminish your own. Like, I feel like iron sharpens iron, and I just feel like really happy for people who are succeeding, because I know how hard it is to be at this level and how much work it takes and how much resilience and dedication and sacrifice.
I mean, yeah, it's wild. The jealousy is from the top down. The WNBA hates Clark. They can't stand that it took a white, straight female to make the league known. They hate it. Darnell, they hate it. They're livid about it. When your lifeblood of your league and your opinion is at your activism and your sexual preference and your skin color.
The difference between the two performances became impossible to ignore. While spectators rose from their seats and reacted to nearly every play Clark created, Reese appeared to have trouble converting routine opportunities close to the rim. Each missed finish added another visible example for fans already debating the difference in their offensive skill sets. For Clark's supporters, the entire sequence felt like poetic justice written by the basketball gods. For months, opponents had tried to slow her through excessive contact, hard fouls, personal criticism, dismissive commentary, and constant media narratives designed to reduce her importance. But once the biggest stage arrived, there was no editing, no hiding, and no way to talk around what viewers could see with their own eyes. The league had marketed the situation as a balanced rivalry, yet the night appeared far more one-sided than that promotional framing suggested. Critics who had spent the season explaining away Clark's success were suddenly running out of arguments. The WNBA conversation had entered a completely different phase, and the balance of influence seemed permanently changed. Bueckers had publicly addressed feelings of jealousy, Reese was being criticized for missed shots under national attention, and Clark remained at the center of everything, carrying the loudest support and the strongest claim to the weekend spotlight. The established hierarchy had attempted to control access to the league's biggest platform. But Clark did not politely ask to enter. She arrived, forced the doors open, and changed the structure surrounding the sport.
The energy done got real weird around here, and I don't understand why. Well, I guess I do understand why. You admitted to being jealous. Take a look at this. Paige admitting her jealousy and envy for Caitlyn is exactly what we've been telling y'all. There's nothing wrong with jealousy, but when you turn it into bitterness and hatred, then it becomes a problem. I'm glad she could be open about it, because we know most of the players feel that way. That's a fact. That's a fact. We know most of the players feel that way. And then there are the players who take it out on her, whether it's on the court or on threads, and then they throw in the racism angle because it's easy to do because she's white girl from Iowa. I agree. If you think that Paige is the only one that said it out loud, don't get it confused. Paige is just the one to say it out loud that she was jealous of Caitlin Clark. That she is envious. She couldn't even cover it up on her face during that pregame stuff. She couldn't cover it up. Take a look at this. Accepting and acknowledging those feelings is what stops it from becoming bitterness and hatred. World would be so much better if others followed her example. I mean, wow, considering Paige gets to be beloved while CC every move is demonized. Careful about envy. Even the people are saying it. She looked so bored and awkward in the interview yesterday. That is a fact. Paige Bueckers came out and admitted that she was jealous. Take a look at these comments. Should I say at least Paige has the decency to admit it? The rest of them straight up haters with no guts to admit it. Wow. She's brave for admitting it, and I hope she learns to let it go before it takes root any deeper. Once it becomes almost impossible to think clearly. It's just look at what jealousy and envy have done to some other players. A bitter heart is like flesh-eating bacteria. Paige Bueckers came out and admitted that she was jealous and envious of Caitlin Clark. And you could see it on her face in the pregame media stuff that they did together. You could see it. Why was it so awkward? Why was she just staring off into space? Why was she... When that hatred, when that envy, that jealousy isn't getting your heart, it could be hard to shake. Now, in respect to her...
Now the microphone belongs to you, because this entire situation raises questions that fans will be debating for a long time. Were you surprised to hear Paige Bueckers speak so openly about jealousy? And what did you make of the contrast between Clark's command of the spotlight and the struggles of those who have been positioned against her? Share your honest reaction in the comments below. And for more direct coverage of the stories shaping the sports world, press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next update. This channel will continue following the moments others attempt to dismiss, and Caitlin Clark continues giving everyone plenty to discuss. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.